Hello, this is Lee Anthony Davis here with my follow-up video to my Doctor Who quiz. This video is with the answers to the 10 questions I posed earlier in the first video. So I'll give you a chance to get your notes together as I give you the answers. Right, we started off with, if you remember, what date did the first Doctor Who air on BBC One? And the answer was Saturday the 23rd of November 1963. You know why? Because a week before John F. Kennedy got assassinated, it was the week that Doctor Who was meant to go out. But unfortunately, with what happened, nobody saw the programme, so they had to sort of postpone it a week. And it's understandable. I mean, the leader of the free world has just been assassinated. So anyway, Doctor Who was put on hold for a week, and then they decided that would be the best time to get it out again. Verity Lambert put conditions in that she wanted repeats to be shown every 2 days or whatever. I don't know, but but there was a lot of problems. They did it at Lime Grove, remember, at Studio D. It started raining. The sprinklers kept on going off every time the temperature rose, and in there it's very hot. So the days of shall I say, trouble-free situations like that are over, because obviously they've gone to better studios and it's all been done properly. But that is true. Their sprinklers went off and it postponed recording productions and everything. Everything was put back. But with John F. Kennedy, it set Doctor Who back as well. That's why they only gave it 6 weeks. Because it was just another science fiction show, as they thought then. Right, okay then, moving on to that. Did you get that answer? It was Saturday, the 23rd of November, 1963. That was a week after Kennedy. Or no, Kennedy was shot on the 8th, wasn't he? I think that's when they thought it would be best to put it on that date to make sure, because Saturday 23rd, Saturday 17th, 16th on it, and 16th for the 8th, 15th, 23rd, yeah, that's right. So I think they gave it a couple of weeks, I think, but it was meant to go out on Saturday the 8th. So the public was denied a science fiction show, but little did they know it was to become very big. Right, okay then. Question 2. In which adventure did Fraser Hines debut as Jamie McCrinnan? He debuted actually in the Highlanders. It's one episode it's one adventure that was never actually kept by the BBC. They got rid of it. Somebody somewhere might have the blueprint somewhere in the world, in Botswana or somewhere like that. And until it pops up, you'll just have to do with the animation when they bring it out, like they've done with some of the other adventures. But it was the Highlanders in 1967. Right, moving on, and it's true that Jamie Fraser didn't realise that he was going to be used again. He thought it was just going to be this adventure and that was it. But no, he was wrong. The then producer, was Verity Lambert, and she felt that he was a good added he was a good advert for the show, and but the problem was they had 2 other companions, Ben and Polly as well, in there, and it could sort of destroy any chance of character development. So I think they had to. I think it was only about 4 adventures later, Ben and Polly were given their marching orders. Well, not given their marching orders, but sort of written out the show in the faceless ones. So it was always Verity's idea. No, Verity was gone by then, wasn't she? Sorry about that. Yeah, she was long gone. No, it was. I don't know who it was. It might have been a guy called Neil Innes. I think he was. He took over the show, but he wanted. I think he wanted a companion for the new Doctor, which was obviously Patrick Troughton, who just took over the role from the very ill William Hartnell. But anyway, it was the Highlanders. Right, question 3. Does Katie Manning suffer with an eye condition? True or false? And the answer is yes, she does. The condition is called myopia, and it's about someone who's very near-sightedness. In other words, they can't see further than their own nose, certain frictions of light. I suffer with a lazy eye, and so I know what it feels like. When I was young, I had to wear a patch over my eye, and then I had to do 1 hour a day for reading. I forgot what the condition was called, but it doesn't matter. But she had myopia, and it prevented her from sort of seeing in front of her. And when she was doing Doctor Who, she had trouble. You know, when she had to run over quarries and stuff like that, John Pertwee had to help her because she kept on falling over. Because she couldn't see where she was going. That's the reality. So there was a lot of editing going on when they did that. So they had to do a lot of takes, but nevertheless, she still was a good companion. That didn't prevent her from succeeding as for the viewers. For the viewers, she was a success. So anyway, moving on. That's question 3. Yes, it is true. Katie Manning did have a problem with her eyes, because it was like it was an eye. It was it was an eye disease. That's what it basically is. Myopia. Right. Okay. Anyway, you don't need a history of optical opticians. I'm not an optician, you know. Right, moving on to question 4. Is it true that Tom Baker was bitten by a dog? Yes, he was. He was bitten by a dog on the set of the Ribos operation. Unfortunately, the dog belonged to fellow actor Paul Seed, who played the Graf in Decay in that with Tom Baker. He had his dog on set, and he had this party trick where he'd put some food in his mouth, just enough so the dog could sort of jump up and take it out. But unfortunately, Tom Baker put it too far in his mouth, and the dog jumped up and bit his lip. And he had to go to hospital because it was all blood and everything. And he managed to get it stitched up. And when you see when he's doing his opening scene with the White Guardian, and he's standing at certain angles, it's to sort of keep the camera away from the cut lip, but you can still see it if you look closely enough, because it's a great big cut there. The dog caught him badly on the lip. He was in pain and agony, and they had to postpone production while he went to hospital. It's true that. I'm not just making it up. He was bitten by a dog, but it wasn't the dog's fault. It was Tom's fault. He should have realised you don't put the food right into your mouth. You've got to put it out so the dog's got something to grab onto. Anyway, never mind. It's all for fun anyway. Tom Baker did like a laugh. He saw the funny side of it, but it wasn't at the time when he was in a sort of agony. Anyway, moving on. Oh yeah, this one's an interesting one I gave you. What was the name of the 2 Hammer horror actresses that appeared in the Peter Davison era? They appeared in 2 adventures. One was in the Planet of Fire, and the other one was the ill-fated Warriors of the Deep. They were called Ingrid Pitt and Barbara Shelley. Barbara Shelley, as you know, was in Dracula Prince of Darkness and the Reptile, not Reptile. She was in Rasputin. She's been in quite a lot of Hammer horror. She was in the Village of the Damned. So she's been in a lot of stuff, but she couldn't scream. They got Susan Farmer with the dubbed scream over her voice. She just opened her mouth like that, and it was actually Susan Farmer who was doing the screaming. And Susan Farmer, funny enough, she was in a Rasputin as well with her. And she was married, believe it or not, to Ian McShane, you know, Lovejoy, yeah. Anyway, enough information. Basically, Ingrid Pitt had appeared in it twice. She was in The Time Monster with John Pertwee, and also she was in Warriors of the Deep with Peter Davison. So anyway, there's the answers. I'm not going to go into it too much. I don't want to run video over than what it should be. Right, okay then. Right, this is a difficult one. I found it difficult as well. Colin Baker was a doctor between 1984 and 1986. So how many hours of time is that he played the doctor? I managed to get it down to 15 hours, 20 minutes, working out the times table and stuff. Because remember, the first episode he appeared as the Doctor was a Twin Dilemma, and that was a 4-parter. So that was a 25 minutes. That was easy to work out. And then he did 2-parters at 45 minutes, which was the Attack of the Cybermen. What else was there? Attack of the Cybermen, Vengeance on Varos. And then you had the 2 Doctors, and then you had the Mark of the Rani, and then you had what else? What was it? Time Lash, and then you had the Dalek story. Well, doesn't matter, does it? Anyway, so they went on for 2-parters at 45 minutes each, and then I added that to the Trial of the Time Lord, which was a lot easier because they did it in 25-minute instalments in 4-parters over 3 months. Is it 3 months? Went on for quite a while, but anyway, I got it to 15 hours 20 minutes. So if you got anything close to 15 hours, well done. Anyway, next question. Which actor, oh wait, sorry, what was the name of the alien creature that appeared in Sylvester McCoy's first adventure? That's when Kate Amara comes through the TARDIS doors, and this creature with furry hair and her looked like a lost prop from a costume design, didn't it? That had been forgot to be used in the past in some silly children's program. It would have fitted well in Lost in Space, wouldn't it? But anyway, they were called the Tetraps, or something like that. They had 3 eyes, and they had this tongue that stuck out. And then you had Bonnie Langford screaming, ah, ah. Oh, I thought, oh dear, put her out of her misery, please. Anyway, they're called the Tetraps. That's TPTRAPS. I might have pronounced it wrong, but they weren't a rememberable monster, were they? Let's face it. So that's the answer to that, the Tetraps. Question 8. Believe it or not, which actor was turned down because of his accent and was eventually offered to Paul McGann? Which actor was turned down for his accent and was offered the part to Paul McGann? Well, we're talking about Doctor Who, the movie, of course. Paul McGann wasn't the first choice, obviously. There was a few actors doing their screen test and auditions and stuff. But unfortunately, this actor had a strong Scottish accent. And I think you know who I'm talking. No, not David Tennant. I'm talking about the Doctor who should have been Doctor before he got old. He was Peter Capaldi, obviously. He was the one that went up against Paul McGann because he was the final 2. And unfortunately, it's the accent that sort of lost him the job, because he was too. The American audience might not have taken to a Scottish accent, a Scottish actor. And I don't think Peter Capaldi was very good at putting on English voices. Well, he could be, but at that time he wasn't. And what they were wanting. There's apparently Fox, who was funding this, wanted a quaint English gentleman, and Paul McGann looked perfect. But when he came on the set, this is no lie, he had his head shaved. So all the locks he had was gone. So they had to put a wig on him or something, I don't know, while they were doing the filming. But it made no difference anyway. It didn't win the ratings war in America, because Roseanne won, because they're up against Roseanne. Remember Roseanne? Roseanne Barr. At the time, that comedy was the most popular comedy ever in America, apparently. I think it was to do with the wedding and stuff like that. I never liked it. I never followed that show. I never followed Friends either. So anyway, never mind. So that was the reason why Peter Capaldi never got the role, because of his Scottish accent, and he wouldn't have fitted well with the American public, apparently. How do they know? You know? What do they know? So anyway, it was true. It was... it was that. But Peter Capaldi did get the role in the end, you know, but unfortunately I think he got the role too late. I think he should have got it a little bit earlier than that. Well, anyway, never mind. Uh, the next question, question 9. Who is the longest running Doctor in the history of the show? You would say Tom Baker, I hear you say. You're wrong. It wasn't. It was actually Sylvester McCoy. I'll tell you why. Because in 1987 to 1989, he was the Doctor. But unfortunately, the show went off air, didn't it? It was in hiatus. And they promised to bring it back. And when they did bring it back, Sylvester McCoy was in the movie, but only at the beginning. He was there to regenerate into Paul McGann, obviously. So it was 9 years. I know Tom Baker did 7 years. John Pertwee did 5. But it was basically who's still the Doctor when the show came back. That's what I was really asking about. But it doesn't matter. You probably knew that anyway. Right, final one. What Ark Adventures linked Ace? Sophie Aldrin, who played Ace. Easy, really. Dragonfire, Ghostlight, and The Curse of Fenwick. The Dragonfire introduced Ace into the show. Ghostlight was the nightmare of burning down this mansion in Peregrine where she came from. And The Curse of Fenwick was when it was all revealed. So there's the Ark. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. I don't usually do these quizzes anymore. I used to do them, but I thought I'd do it anyway, you know. So I've done it. That's it. Just before I go, don't forget my Sarah Jane, the Lee Anthony Davis, the Sarah Jane Adventures page, the Lee Anthony Davis, the Sarah Jane Adventures group will be out on Monday on Facebook. Don't forget that. And also, don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow with another announcement video and, of course, another Lost in Space cliffhanger. So look after yourselves. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the Doctor Who quiz, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.